Today on Dr. Phil, she's a beauty.
You threatened to kill the family in their sleep.
And a beast.
You duct taped a disabled kid's mouth shut.
He talks and he just doesn't shut up.
Her parents can't control her.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a police officer.
And trying to help just sets her off.
You make me go there, I will never speak to you ever again!
Let's do it. If we're going to do something here that matters, then we got to deal with the truth.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
If I can help get this family back on track, are you willing to do that?
Ready, 3, take.
This is going to be a changing day in your life. Go, Dr. Phil. I want you to take a look at this picture. What a sweet little girl. Isn't she sweet? Here she is all dressed up, ready to go to her grandparents' 40th anniversary party. And here's a photo, nearly all grown up at 17. And now a surveillance picture that shows another side to this teen. Here she is walking around the school hallway with her pants purposely pulled down. Now, when a teacher pulled her aside and told her she was being written up, she said, I don't care. That's not the only time she's been written up. In fact, it took 3 pages of paper just to summarize all of her school infractions. And that's just a summary. I mean, I got a whole notebook of these things. Now, according to her file from middle and high school, she's had 7 suspensions, 47 disciplinary referrals, 11 incidents reports, 5 alternative school assignments, and 3 disciplinary notices. On top of that, she is a perfect example of the type of kid that I've been discussing on this show for the past 10 years. A real bully, and she is proud of it. Take a look.
Well, one time I bullied like this little, she was like a little geek. I just bullied her every day so badly. Like I just said such mean things to her. I would just call her ugly and fat. She was already self-conscious, like, you know what I mean? She would like cry every day. She just like stopped coming to class and stuff because of me, and like she dropped down and everything. I'm like, oh, sorry. I was mean to her. I was just like, damn, that bitch left. I harassed this one boy. He's like, disabled or whatever. He was just so annoying. He would just keep repeating himself. He would say my teacher's name over and over and over and over and over again. And I would go up to his face and I would be like, shut up. And he would just like be like, ooh. I duct taped his mouth. It pissed me off. I hate when people don't listen to me.
You duct taped a disabled kid's mouth shut.
Yes, I did.
What the hell are you thinking?
He wouldn't shut up. He talks and talks and he just doesn't shut up. And like he just wouldn't shut up, so one day I just duct taped his mouth. Like,
okay, but let me ask you something. You seem to have an expectation that people need to comply with what you want them to do. That your parents need to do what you want them to do, that your friends need to do what you want them to do, and more importantly, not do what you don't want them to do. And that if you want people gone, they need to go. You seem to think that things revolve around you.
In my world, they do.
Okay, well, but tell me why. And I want to know, because I want to get to know you. And I may have missed it. Help me understand, what's so special about you?
I just love myself.
Well, no, I get that. I totally get that. But help me, because see, I want to love you too. So what is it that's so special about you?
Everything.
Make a list for me.
Everything. Just everything you see, everything I do.
Everything you see. Are you
love
like
myself.
Are you like amazingly attractive?
Well, yeah, I am pretty, and you know, I have a lot of friends, and you know, I'm just amazing.
You're just amazing?
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Because I've often worried about this because I'm like the boss around here. You know, they could put my name a few more places, I guess, but maybe we should do this at your school. We should just put Courtney everywhere like they have Dr. Phil here.
I know.
But Let me ask you, do you ever wonder what people say about you when you walk away?
Oh, I know what people say about me. That's why I get mad, and that's why I
What do they say about
bash
you?
your head on the sidewalk.
What do they say about you?
They call me a bitch, and they're like, they just say things that like I like love myself, and I'll be like, oh my God, like I'm so pretty. I'll walk around like I don't like you, and then they'll be like you're a bitch. I don't understand. Like you're not even pretty, and I'm like, whoa, all right, let's go. Like I'll fight you. Like I'll you up. Like don't talk to me like that.
Okay. Well, let's talk about some of your behaviors that I think come from this sense of entitlement. In junior high, you bit the principal on the arm?
Yeah, because he was trying to cut, like he was like holding my mouth like that, so like I bit him. Like he wouldn't let go of me. And
So
I was
you were
like,
just
okay.
standing there and he just came up and put you in a chokehold?
Well, like I was like screaming and fighting all of them, and like he came over to me and like tried to like hold me back, I guess. So like his arm was right there, so I just bit the
You screaming and fighting everyone?
because like I don't even know. I don't even know what happened.
Was this when
I
you
forget.
called 911 and told,
Yeah. I
told them
jumped
that the
right over the
teachers were
desk.
attacking you?
Yeah,
So they came out to school? Mm-hmm. I guess that didn't work out well for you.
they came and they just looked at me like, Courtney, what are you doing?
Yeah, okay.
like,
In high
"Don't
school,
touch
you
me."
got caught drunk
Oh,
in
yeah.
the street by police. Mm-hmm. You punched your mother in the face.
Yep.
You just punched your mother in the face. This is a woman that
She was
gave
trying
birth
to take
you.
my phone.
Where'd you get that phone?
My phone?
Yeah,
Where'd I get my phone from?
yeah.
What do you mean, in the store?
Well, did you buy it?
No.
Who
but
bought
it's
it?
still mine.
Who bought it?
My dad. Not
So you-
my mom. It was
So
my
your
dad
parents bought
it.
the phone, and then one of your parents wanted to take it back, so you punched her in the face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
All
don't
right.
grab from me.
You threatened to cut your mom's throat.
Mm-hmm.
You threatened to cut her tongue out, and you threatened to burn the house down and kill the family in their sleep.
Except my brother.
Charming. Seriously, these are your people. If you are disloyal to your own family, you must have no loyalty to anyone.
Probably not.
Okay, you were expelled from public high school. You were sent to alternative school. You stole $5,000 in cash and jewelry from your family.
Somewhere around
What'd
there.
you do with the money?
You know, went and got drunk, went and bought clothes, you know, did some drugs.
Yeah. Okay, so in junior high, you bit the principal. In high school, you punched the principal in the face
Oh, yeah.
because he woke you up? Mm-hmm. Okay. And you were sleeping where?
I was sleeping on the desk and in school.
Yeah, so you're sleeping in his school, and he had the audacity to woke you up, so you just punched him.
Well, like, he woke me up and he was like, you're gonna have to go in the back room, like, if you don't wake up. And I'm like, you guys just really need to leave me alone right now. And they didn't leave me alone, so I got up and, like, I started walking to the back and I turned around and punched him in the face. I was like, don't mess with me and don't touch me.
Okay, so you've gotten arrested.
Okay.
You bit a cop on the leg.
Oh, yeah.
How do you even do that?
Because I was in shackles and I was in handcuffs like this, and I got a bobby pin out of my hair and tried to undo my handcuffs. Like, he came over to me, slammed me on the ground, like, ripped all the bobby pins out of my hair, and I was like, well, what the hell? I was like, he's hurting me. So I went over and I bit him hard as hell, and I was like, now I hurt you. Like,
Oh, so
like,
this
don't
was
mess with
after he
me.
got all, he was just standing over there, she just went over and bit him?
Well, no, like, I was, like, taking all the things, like, I was trying to take the things off, and he, like, came over to me and, like, slammed me down, like, ripping all the bobby pins out of my hair because he was mad that I was trying to undo it. And then, like, my face was, like, right next to his leg, so I just bit him. I was
Okay,
like,
so you
whatever.
have no respect for authority at all?
No.
Okay. You destroyed the front yard after your parents painted your room the wrong color?
Yeah, it was supposed to be pink, and they painted it tan, so I raised hell.
And how did you tear
Literally.
up the front yard?
Oh, I took the bird bath. I was about to throw it at my dad's car. I was punching the cars. I stripped, like, on my front lawn. Like, I was freaking out. Because, like, they wouldn't let me back in the house to go change. And, like, my dad's throwing all my stuff out on the front lawn. And I'm like, okay, well, let me go in the house to change because I just came from work and I was in my work clothes. And they were like, no, you're not allowed. And I was like, okay. So I just took off all my clothes and started changing. And like the cops are looking at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, you won't let me change. I was like, so I'm gonna change right here. And they were just like, well, you need to go. Like,
So in your opinion, how's all this working for you?
pretty good.
Pretty good. Would you give it out of a 1 to 10, would you give it an 8, a 7, a 9? What would you say in terms of getting the results you want in your life?
Probably like a 7 or 8.
Okay, so you're getting away with a lot, in other words. People, they kowtow to you, they let you do what you want to do because you'll raise so much hell if they don't, it's just easier to give in, right?
Well, yeah, kind of.
So why are you here today?
Because I'm like failing school because of how, like, and like, my parents are just like so like over the top with me. It's because of my attitude, I guess. My anger.
Are you crazy?
No.
You don't think you're crazy?
No.
No, I'm asking that sincerely. I'm not trying to be a smartass. I mean, do you lose control to the point that you think, you know what, I'm a little whacked out?
I'm crazy when I'm angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Huh. So who are the parents of this out-of-control teen? How do they feel about what she's put them through? Well, they're going to join us next. And look, I'm just going to call it as I see it today. There's going to be no bubble over my head. You're going to hear everything I'm thinking. Well, almost everything. We'll be right back.
A few years ago, she punched me in the face, and I ended up with a bloody lip.
I threatened to kill my mom. I told her I was gonna slit her throat and cut her tongue out, and I told her I was gonna put gasoline around the house and light the house on fire.
What can you say? It's just, I can't believe that's my daughter.
My parents can't control me. They can't.
Courtney will steal money. Courtney will steal jewelry.
Anything she can get her hands on.
My husband and I put a lock on our door.
I probably stole over $5,000. I would go and get clothes, drugs too. There's nothing you can really do about it now. So it's still whatever. I mean, I got some cute stuff with that money.
Well, I'm here with 17-year-old Courtney, who admits that she lies, steals, and bullies anyone, including her parents. Take a look.
My 17-year-old daughter, Courtney, is completely out of control.
I don't like my parents' rules. I don't listen to them, and I think they're stupid. I'm a rude bitch, for real, and people just don't like that, I guess. I tell my parents to go themselves a lot, and I call my mom about like 5 times a week. I call my dad a pig.
Anything you can imagine will come out of that mouth. I'm just dumbfounded.
I would advise people not to mess with me. When I get angry, I do some crazy things.
A few years ago, she punched me in the face, and I ended up with a bloody lip.
I threatened to kill my mom. I told her I was gonna slit her throat and cut her tongue out, and I told her I was gonna put gasoline around the house and light the house on fire.
When Courtney gets like that, words can't describe it. I feel like it's not happening.
Courtney's always had discipline problems at school.
I was a major bully. I would make people fall in the hallways. I would throw books at people. I was just rude.
Last year, Courtney was finally expelled from school. Courtney has been put in an alternative school for behavior problems. The principal was trying to wake her up because she was sleeping.
I punched him right in his mouth. I said, don't touch me, and then I slapped him. And the cops came.
She was put in a holding cell, and she bit a police officer.
What can you say? It's just, I can't believe that's my daughter.
My parents can't control me. They can't.
We have tried everything. Nothing has worked, and I feel angry and confused and sad. There must be a way to control Courtney without her having to go to jail or be institutionalized.
Where'd you go last night?
Oh my God, leave me alone.
It breaks my heart. And as a parent, you always like to think that you have the answers for everything. And we're just at wit's end with Courtney.
Well, Courtney's parents, Barbara and Chris, are here, and you've been watching our conversation.
Yes.
Yes.
What'd you think about that conversation and what Courtney in particular had to say?
That's typically Courtney.
Pretty indicative?
Yes. I wasn't surprised at what she said because she said that to us so many times.
What'd you think about?
She's brutally honest. She'll tell you exactly how she's feeling. And that's Courtney.
you say she's always been difficult, even as a toddler.
Yes.
And you say about the 6th grade, it really got
Out of control.
You've bullied some people to the point that they just left, right? Left the school? Mm-hmm. And you were like, yes.
I was just like, bye.
It's like,
Keep
hey, I
walking.
love myself.
Don't
you
let
know?
the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah. So, do you know what the word empathy means?
No.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at that one. Empathy is the ability to put yourself in another person's circumstance or situation and understand how they feel. Like if your friend had a parent die that they loved very much, you could be sympathetic with them, just like, you know, Jim, I'm so sorry, and there's anything I can do for you. That's sympathy. But empathy is the ability to put yourself in their situation and have some understanding with the pain they might be feeling or the sense of loss that they might have, so you can relate to them because you're empathetic with them. And that's one of the things that we develop as we mature. Do you think you have that ability?
Probably if I tried hard enough, but I don't want to try.
But tell me why not? Why would you not
Because-
want to try? Why that's
So
okay?
I'll just learn that on my own when I have to. And for now, I'll just do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just because I came on the show, nothing's gonna change. We came on the show, yeah, that's good, but I'm just gonna go home and be the same Courtney. I'm not gonna go home and be like, oh yeah, you know, since we went here and, you know, I went on Dr. Phil, I'm gonna change. It's not gonna be like that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the same thing.
Okay, we found one thing we agree on, because I agree with you on that. But because I really don't expect you to change at this point. I really don't. You guys, on the other hand, I got a lot to say to. But my point is, I'm just trying to find out what you know and what you don't know. Do you know what ignorance means?
Yes, and I'm very ignorant.
What's ignorance mean?
Ignorant?
This is a test. I'm grading your paper.
No, well, like, I don't know, like, the full definition, but I just know I'm an ignorant person because people tell me all the time.
Yeah. Well, see, a lot of people use ignorance kind of the same as stupid or dumb or
I'm not
or
stupid,
whatever.
I'm just really mean.
And that's not what ignorance means. Ignorance is a lack of information. And if you lack information about vital life skills, then you would have to say that you are ignorant. You are missing these life skills that might get you more of what you want. Now,
Probably.
Courtney makes excuses for what she does, right? You threatened to stab a girl because she stole your boyfriend.
Yeah. That was no excuse. That was the truth. Like, she stole my boyfriend, so I went to her house with a knife and told her I was going to kill her.
You punched your mom because you say she annoys you.
She just doesn't know when to leave me alone.
Okay. You yelled at airport security because they were just way too slow.
Yes.
You punched the principal because he woke you up. You bit the cop because he was being mean to you when you were trying to escape.
Yeah.
You broke the bird bath and destroyed the landscaping because they didn't paint your room the color that you wanted. Mm-hmm. And those all seem like justifications to you.
I don't like when people don't listen to me.
Right.
So I'm going to have something to say when you don't listen to me.
Well, you've said you're not going to listen to me today, so should I just punch you out?
If that makes you, if you want to do that.
All right, we're going to take a break. Courtney says that she comes and goes as she pleases. She regularly stays out until 5 in the morning, and her parents' biggest fears are what we're going to talk about next. We'll be right back.
I go out almost every night and get drunk.
At this point, there's nothing I can do about it unless I restrain her.
I've tried every drug but heroin, and I never smoked crack, but I've done everything else.
I have told Courtney, you're going to either end up dead or in jail.
I have a problem with anger. If people look at me wrong, or people give me dirty looks or say something to me that I don't like, I just go off. When I get mad, I freak out. I can't even explain it. I black out because it's just bad.
Well, that was 17-year-old Courtney, who says that she's just mad all the time. And the only thing that makes her happy seems to be alcohol.
I go out almost every night and get drunk. I'll come home at 5 o'clock in the morning, drunk, high. I just don't care.
At this point, there's nothing I can do about it unless I restrain her. She just goes.
I'm afraid she's just not going to come home.
I'm afraid she's going to end up dead.
I've tried every drug but heroin, and I never smoked crack. But I've done everything else.
Courtney is headed for disaster.
So I don't think I have a problem. It's not like I'm like, oh, well, I gotta go get some meth or some coke to, like, function. I can stop whenever I want, but I just don't want to. I think it's fun when I'm on drugs.
I have told Courtney, you're going to either end up dead or in jail.
I don't really want to stop or change my ways. Like, maybe I want to be a little less angry, but everything else, I'm good on that. I don't care.
Well, Barbara says Courtney goes out all night without asking. She skips school the next day. You know she's drinking. You know she's doing drugs. It's all underage. Chris, what do you do for a living?
I'm a police officer.
So you know that there are elements in our society that can ring her up in a really bad way.
Absolutely. My biggest fear is her not coming home and us not knowing what happened to her. Just disappear.
Yeah.
And that's what it might have to take for me to learn my lesson.
I get the feeling that you're kind of like Chatty Cathy. You got certain things you say, and I have a hard time knowing what you really mean and what you're just parroting back, because you actually strike me as being very intelligent. So that tells me that you're kind of playing a role, and I'm just curious why, and that's why I asked her early on if she thinks this works for her, and she gives it like a 7.5. Now, what's your theory about why she is this defiant, this rebellious, this angry, this much maladjustment to society?
I believe Courtney was an overindulged little girl. We gave her a lot. She learned early on to kick and scream for what she wanted. But as she got older and I had my fourth child, we started becoming more firm. And by this time, she was already in, heading middle school.
What do you think?
I believe that, like Barb said, with the other children, when our fourth child came along, Courtney wasn't the princess anymore. She wasn't the only girl in the house. We had our fourth child as a girl. She's 10 now. And Courtney didn't like sharing a spotlight with another sister.
Parents bring me teens sometimes that have behavioral problems, attitude problems, emotional problems, whatever. And if there hasn't been any other indications of some kind of brain abnormality or whatever, clear things that would be associated with neurological deficits, then you're kind of left with environment and parenting. And my view is she's just throwing a huge long tantrum and continues to get paid off for it. Because y'all cave, right?
We compromise, yes.
So in other words, she's right, this works. And I'm not saying that, we'll talk about the why in a minute, but in your view, this works, right? You get away with stuff.
Yeah, kind of.
That's a problem. You'll be 18 in 8 weeks, 9 weeks?
Something like that.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do here is fix up the next 8 weeks. Because at 18, you no longer have any control. You only have the ability to influence. So the message to parents out there is you better fix this when they're 4, 5, 9.
We've tried. We've tried everything. We've punished her, and we've done everything in steps. Right now, she does not have a cell phone. She doesn't have a computer, and we will not allow her to get her license. The only thing she has until she's 18 is a roof over her head. That's it.
How is it working for you?
Because it just is.
If you don't have a car, you don't have a license, you don't have a cell phone, you don't have a computer, you don't have some of the things that you would like to have, then your approach is less than fully efficient.
I'm good where I'm at right now.
Okay, well, okay, then you're good. All right. So what happened the night Courtney blacked out from alcohol? We're going to talk about that next, and then I'm going to make some suggestions.
I was completely trashed.
Courtney told me that she woke up with no clothes on.
I called my mom freaking out. Like, I was like, you need to get me the day after pill right now. I will not have some ugly little pregnant belly on me. I don't want to be fat. That's disgusting.
We had the bedrooms painted and Courtney didn't like the color.
I've been telling my dad I wanted my room pink for so long. I came home and my room was not pink. It was tan. I snapped.
She threatened to take a Sharpie and write all over the walls. She threatened to take an axe to her bedroom furniture.
I was throwing at everyone.
She actually broke her full-length mirror and was holding the shards of mirror like she was gonna hurt somebody. I was terrified.
Well, that was Courtney and her parents talking about another incident where she just didn't or couldn't contain her anger. Now, Courtney's mom says her daughter is also sexually active, and she is seriously concerned.
When Courtney was a sophomore, she asked me if I would take her to get birth control.
I was 15 when I first had sex with some scumbag, but you know, that's how it always is. I lost my birth control pills. I lost them. I don't know where they went, so I stopped taking it.
Last year, Courtney came to me after a party and asked me for the morning after pill.
I took ecstasy that night, and I drank 2 bottles of vodka, and I drank a 24-pack of beer, and I smoked like 3 blunts of marijuana. That was completely trashed.
Courtney told me that she woke up with no clothes on.
Someone said they saw blah, blah, blah having sex with you. I was like, what the f? I was like, are you serious? And they were like, yeah. And like, I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, seriously, seriously, seriously. And like, I called my mom freaking out. Like, I was like, you need to get me the day after pill right now. I think I got raped last night.
Courtney thought that she was pregnant.
I was so scared. I never want to be pregnant because I don't want to be fat. I don't like fat people, and I don't want to be fat and lose my body. No, I will not be fat ever, and I will not have some ugly little pregnant belly on me either. That's disgusting.
She assures me that she's not going to get pregnant, but it's just hit or miss with Courtney.
Because I'm not stupid when I have sex. Like, if I want to have sex, I'm not going to go be stupid and get pregnant. Like, I'm just not stupid.
Wow, you insulted almost everybody in that. I mean, fat people, pregnant
care.
people. Pardon me?
I said, I don't care.
Because see, I have a theory, and you may agree with it or not, but my theory is you don't like being angry all the time. And it makes you feel powerful in the moment. But the truth is, we are the weakest when we are the most angry. Because the only way you get angry is if you feel like you've been the victim in some way. Somebody's hurt you, disrespected you.
I don't like being disrespected.
All the time, of course, nobody does.
And that's why I freak out, because when you disrespect me, I'll rip your head off.
Yeah. And your threshold for what defines disrespect may be pretty low. I mean, you know, like somebody, it may not take a lot to set you off because you've got
Takes that much to set me
Yeah,
off.
because you've got this habit of being angry. And so it comes real easy. It's what you know best, right? And, you know, I also have this theory that anger is nothing more than an outward expression of hurt, fear, and frustration.
It's not that all the time. Sometimes I get angry because I'm hurt or I feel disrespected, but sometimes I just get angry like out of nowhere, and I'll just like raise all hell. Like
Yeah.
it will just come out of nowhere, and I'll just like it's done.
Would you like to know why that
Everything's
happens?
done. Go.
Pardon me?
I said go.
There's a neurological loop in your head that's been closed, and so something can trigger you, and it can be a biochemical, or it can be a noise, or it can be just something that's out of sync, and you start into this loop, and it flashes like that, and then you become a passenger because the anger takes over sometimes, doesn't it? It's like, whoa, I can't believe. I mean, don't you sometimes look back a couple hours later and go, oh my God,
Yeah,
I cannot believe
do
I
that
said
every
that
time
or
I
did
freak
that.
out. Every time I freak out, I do that. Like when I went to that girl's house with a knife and tried to kill her. Like a couple days later, I was like, what the hell was I doing? Or like when I was freaking out, throwing the bird bath and destroying the lawn. Like a couple weeks later, I'm just like, damn, I really destroyed everything. Like,
Yeah,
what was I doing?
you look back and say, that was crazy, I shouldn't have done that. But in the moment, it makes complete sense to you. So we basically just had, I think, a very intelligent conversation about her anger, which tells me that she has a capacity for insight. And this is not the Damien seed child, you know. She's not the evil child. She just has virtually no coping skills. This anger takes over. And that has to change and can change. And she actually does want to change it. The truth is, she doesn't like that about herself. I mean, be honest. I mean, he says you're brutally honest.
I don't like being angry.
Yeah, she doesn't like being angry. We'll be right back. I want to stop for a second and let you guys ask me questions if you have them. What would you like to ask me?
We just want to know what's wrong with her. We've been to many, many doctors, many psychiatrists, and nobody can give us a clear answer. They just keep telling us she needs to go to therapy.
You understand at this point, you have a lot of ownership in where she is. And you've basically taught her to stop on green and go on red. And then you put her in a car and turn her out in the world. Well, that's not going to work, right? She's learned that the more rebellious, defiant, and out of control I am, the more power I perceive myself to have, because you admit you cave.
But how do I change her behavior? How can I, when she is in a rage, you've seen it, there's nothing you can do.
But you have to understand that you have raised this girl with an unbridled sense of entitlement. She truly perceives that the world should revolve around her. And look, there's nothing you can do about that now because that has happened across years. And you are loving, devoted parents. There's no question in my mind about that. You have made some really bad choices. And here's where you and I disagree. I'll tell parents, avoid a confrontation with your children at every possible choice. But once you have one, don't ever lose. So you've said, you know, we're afraid she's going to wind up in jail. She should have been in jail. She is a criminal. She is breaking the law. She is doing drugs and alcohol underage. She is perpetrating violence on others.
I didn't say I was afraid she was going to be in jail. I said she was going to end up in jail.
Of course, and I don't want her to go to jail.
But I think that's going to be the rock bottom she needs.
Well, what she doesn't know now, she'll learn in jail. You know that. So is it too late for Courtney to turn her life around? The answer is going to surprise you. I guarantee you the message boards are going to light up over this one. We'll be right back.
Courtney talks about dying young. Courtney talks about partying.
I don't have goals. 5 years from now, I'll probably be in jail, like if I keep going at the rate I am right now. Or I'll just be like an alcoholic, a raging alcoholic.
As soon as she assaulted a police officer, I knew that I really have to back off because she could really hurt somebody. I feel like I've almost given up my role as a mother. I just feel like I can't discipline her and I can't confront her because she will go into a rage. So it's kind of like at this point, Courtney's just doing what Courtney feels she can do.
Well, I'm here with Courtney and her parents, Barbara and Chris. Courtney has a long history of being defiant, rebellious, violent. Barbara and Chris, in my opinion, we ask a lot of questions of our guests before they get here. These are loving, caring, attentive, dialed-in parents. I said I was going to tell you what I think. Is it too late for her to change her life? The answer is no. It is not too late for her to change her life. It is too late for you to change her life. So I'm telling you, you say, Dr. Phil, what can we do as parents to help her not self-destruct? That ship has pretty much sailed. You're 2 months away from her being 18. You have no influence over her at that point. You have no control over her at that point. You could inspire her, you can influence her. So y'all, there's nothing you can do. And what you're gonna have to learn a harsh reality of is they don't owe you a damn thing after you hit 18.
That's okay.
They take time and effort and energy to make your life nice. And you punch them in the face and tell them you're going to cut their throat and slit their tongues out.
Well, maybe they shouldn't piss me off.
You know, it's your job to get along with them.
It's their job to get along with me too. And if they keep, if
Actually-
they just keep feeding the fire, feeding the flame, and keep arguing back and forth with me, that's what makes me angrier and angrier. I get the last word always. I always have the last word.
Yeah.
Don't, like.
Well, but you're going to get the last word here in about 8 weeks, and it's going to be bye.
Yeah,
Because
I know. See ya.
that's where you are. But what I would prefer instead is that we try to negotiate a plan going forward that
my plan.
allows you to do some of the things that you want to do, and you guys get to enjoy a peaceful relationship with your daughter. This school she's going to, that ship has sailed. And I am willing to give you an alternative to go to. There's a place that is breathtakingly beautiful. It is an unbelievable facility. And we've reached out to them and made arrangements for her to be able to go there as our gift to your family.
Really hope that you'll just shut up. Thanks.
And for the next 2.5, 3 months, you can compel her to go. And if you say that's what you want to do, then we'll arrange a transporter. She can go easy or she can go hard. But if that's what you want her to do, then she can go. And you're going to have to make a decision whether, you know what, we may be at the end of this game, but by God, we're going to stand up for ourselves one time, and she's going to go out with a chance. She can go out into this world with a chance, or we're going to cave one more time and let her do what she wants to do.
We're done caving.
Go.
It's not going to happen.
We'll be right back. Well, I want to thank all of my guests today. We've been talking about a highly rebellious, defiant teen. And I think it's a teen that's controlled by anger. And you've seen this a million times, right?
Yeah.
You know, I take very seriously where your daughter is, as you know. And you may need to compel her to go by the use of a transporter or whatever. And we've done that many times. Sometimes you just have to save them from themselves. You don't have long. You've got a very narrow window here. And I think you guys are resolved to say, we're going to give her this chance. If you have a child that's out of control, let me tell you, the sooner you deal with it, the better. And you've got to stand your ground. And if you need resources on how to deal with your out-of-control teen, you can go to drphil.com. We have a lot of resources there. Thanks for being here so long.
Chris and I have decided to send Courtney to the ranch.
Only choice you're going to have is whether you go with us or you go with strangers.
No!
I want to thank the professional crisis team at West Shield Adolescent Services for transporting Courtney via air without incident to a special therapeutic program. Good job, guys.